All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out the Rich CELENZA show. So, during some of these podcasts I'm posting, I ended up with COVID. So, I am going to probably sound different than I usually sound. For some reason, my voice got even deeper while on this, so I just want to give you a heads up. But I'm feeling better. But what I want to get into today, which is kind of ironic, I'm going to call it, you have to take care. Sorry about that. You have to take control of your body. And really don't let anyone else tell you different. Your body, your mind. And going now, or being tested and having COVID now, it even upped it for me. Because I've discussed this at a previous podcast that I think sometimes we lose a little bit of control of what we're doing to our body, even though we don't want to admit it. It could be doing drugs or drinking. It also could be overeating. It could be not getting enough rest. We kind of just lose, and I don't mean lose control like we're out drunk, passed out, or any of those type of things. I'm just saying losing control of taking care of our body. We just kind of neglect it, or we beat it up. And I talk a lot about this, including your brain, your mindset and all these things. And I get we have these ups and downs, I think, throughout our life where we just get bored, maybe. That's why a lot of times I think we may drink or do other things. Maybe drugs, or maybe just do whatever the hell we want to do. I don't know. And also, I'm also going to say a lot of people that are in the fitness world, just because they're in that world doesn't always mean they're taking care of their bodies, on the high level. A lot of them beat their bodies up. A lot of them maybe lose too much weight too quickly, or just don't eat correctly, or instead of helping their body while working out, or maybe doing a marathon or a triathlon, or something, they're beating the shit out of it. So this goes across the board. It doesn't matter really what type of lifestyle you have. But I do think we really have to take in consideration how important our body is. I talk about it a lot. Now in my 50s, it's pretty interesting because of all the different changes I could see in my body. And I always think to myself, what are my friends, family members, and colleagues going through at my age or even older? Because when you're younger, you don't think about the future a lot of times, what you're going to feel like. You think you're going to feel indestructible or feel like you feel at that point in time. So I thought that way too. I'm thinking in my 20s, for instance, I'm going to probably feel like this when I'm in my 50s and 60s. It's not the case. It's an entirely different mindset. My body's entirely different. Plus, and I'm somebody who worked out. I can't even imagine, or other people that have not taken care of their body or beat the shit out of it for, multiple years or even decades. And I was traveling, not the last couple of years, but before that I was traveling a lot. And I started to drink like some margaritas here and there, and drink maybe some more Italian wine, and drink more on the road, which I was always anti-drinking for the most part throughout my 30s and 40s. Of course, I'd have a drink, but I definitely never wanted to have more than one or two max. And that was maybe a week. I really wasn't into drinking. And then, you fast forward now in my early 50s, I guess you could say, and I'm drinking a little more. And I'm spending a lot more time with other people. And I just started to look at myself, and I'm like, what is aging me? What is making me feel this way? Like, and believe me, I wasn't buzzed. I just found it harder to kind of maybe get up in the morning at times. Also, I'd be drinking, and say I was doing a lot of traveling, and, I just would go back to the hotel, and I'd have to still work, or I'd go have even if it's a beer, I'd have one beer in an Italian restaurant and go to the gym and go, something's off here. And I know you may think that's only one beer, Rich, but I truly believe that, certain things, they have effects on our body. And it doesn't mean it's always bad. I'm not going to sit here and say all alcohol is bad. That's ridiculous. But it makes me feel bad. And you may want to start figuring out if you feel like shit, what is kind of making you feel like shit? Now, I get a lot of times you may feel like shit because of what you're going on in your life. Maybe financially. I've been there. You know what I mean? Maybe stress, work-related, family-related, all these things. But let's kind of put that aside. I get that. That's kind of a mental type thing. But it makes you feel like shit. It makes you feel like shit. But I'm saying maybe there's things you could be just changing up a little bit that'll make you feel better and start making you feel stronger. And a lot of times I'll say this and wrap it up with this. When you kind of get away from certain things, you don't realize, you don't miss them that much. And when I stopped traveling, let's say, for instance, and we would still go out for drinks, I'm not going to say that. But I thought I would really miss traveling. And I did at the beginning because I was programmed to travel. That's what I did for the last decade a lot. But there were so many things that I realized that I was doing And again, it could be having a drink, or it may be doing a certain type of workout, or being whatever it was, even writing, working on all these different types of things. Now my life changed. And then I kind of think back and I watch these videos of myself or listen to these podcasts, and I'm like, wow, I forgot I used to do that. But did that really help me or hurt me? Was that burning me out, or was it actually giving me energy? And you may be like that too, where sometimes you think, or what you're doing is a routine and it's helpful. And it could be as easy as saying, like, you think you may be spending more time looking on YouTube. You may be spending more time, I don't know what you're doing, but maybe doing things again. You may be drinking too much coffee. And I just recently did that, and I will officially wrap it up with this. Like, I'm like, what's aggravating me lately? And I'm like, the only thing that's kind of aggravating me lately is, like, after I drink a coffee, and caffeine never affected me, but my father always said it affected him. I'm like, I'm anxious. I feel weird. And then I drink coffee in the later afternoon or night. I wasn't sleeping all of a sudden. And that very seldom happens. But I went caffeine free, and a lot of people would be like, why even drink coffee? The truth is, I do it for the flavor. But then I killed caffeine, not saying I'm going to kill it forever. And at first I was like, wow, I may be addicted to caffeine because I feel tired throughout, sometimes where I used to have that extra boost at night. But now that I'm not even drinking caffeine, I don't miss it. So again, that's what I mean by taking control of your life. There could be certain things, certain foods, certain vitamins, certain supplements. Again, your sleeping patterns may not be working for you, all these things. And I just wanted to make you maybe think about that. All right, that's all I got. I wish all you the best. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to hit me up. Take care, and I wish you all the best.